They take control early of this one, leading by 8 points to 0, 7 gone. Jason Smith, the man on the bench. Now back with Andrew Johns. They got off to the worst possible start, out on the full from the commencement of play. He's had 2 restarts since. So out of trouble. The Parramatta side just beyond their 30-metre line. Harrigan getting through plenty of defence. Now a dart for Raper.
There's plenty of defence to get through for the Knights. We have a look at the tackles early in this game. 26 for the Newcastle team. Only 3 for the Parramatta side. So in the first 8 minutes, all the possession going to the blue and goals as John Simon finds a bit of space. Lovell Davis takes it on the first bounce.
Both teams now showing their hand kicking before the last tackle. Davis is taken high in that tackle.
It's a careless tackle from the Parramatta team. Brett Horsfall being called out.
Fairly careless.
No damage done.
Won't have any.
Step of Robbie O'Davis into the arm of Brett Horsnell. Steve Roach, let's get a report from you on Jason Smith.
Yeah, well, Jason Smith, as you saw, caught Tony Butterfield's shoulder right on the point of the chin. He's just trying to clear his head at the moment. He'll be back in about 5 minutes.
Newcastle possession just inside their 40. Now Harrigan running back to the centre of the ruck. They met in the tackle of Horsnell and also McCracken. Johns there for Muir. That was Matthew Johns delivering the pass. Clements has a race on to get the dummy half. Glanville beats him to that point, and now Matthew Johns again inside the Parramatta 40. Spinning as he met the line, the tackle of Pay and Morgan. Andrew Johns, they trail by 8. Well handled there by Simon, plucking the ball out of the air on the Johns chip over the top. So not much going right at the moment for the Newcastle Knights. And this is Paul Carrige, the fullback at home for Newcastle, as Parramatta work their way to within 40 now of the Newcastle line and a penalty. The Newcastle Knights in a moment will be under all sorts of pressure.
Paul Carrige has very fond memories of the last encounter against Newcastle on Craigie stripping the ball there. He scored one of the tries of the season, instrumental in getting them home in a close one at Parramatta Stadium. He went about 80 metres on that occasion. Had a pretty good run there. 6 tackles now, 25 metres out. Horsnell takes it inside the 20.
This is second against third. They both finished level on 29 competition points. The Eels up by 8 early. Hay turning to pass and finding Simon flat-footed. Clements came over the top. Scrappy play the ball from Simon. Raper, though, taking off for another 15 metres. He almost had the right arm free, and Carrige was there in support. Nick away for Simon. Long cutout ball. Missed out 2. Bell's got the race for this one, and he's got a try as well. Jason Bell setting up the first try. Now he's got one of his own, and the Eels lead by 12.
Well, what a start. I'm speechless up here, and it's just great vision. Look, the cutout pass, as we freeze it there, you can see that across under the posts is the closest player, Darren Albert here for Newcastle, and a heap of space for Jason Bell as he slides one through. Backed himself. Albert turned to chase. He is a speedster, but all the momentum with Jason Bell.
Good to see a play taking his own chances. He's done that, Jason Bell. Trusted himself in his own ability, and he's come up with another try for the Parramatta side. And Newcastle making too many mistakes, giving away. Ooh, well.
A hint of a knock-on?
A hint. A dead set knock-on. A dead set hint of a knock-on.
A big hint of a knock-on. Let's have a look at it. He comes in trying to get his body down.
Oh.
Yeah, he's knocked on.
No try. How the in-goal judges missed that. He would have been right in front of it. I mean, he deserved a try, but let's face it, it is no try.
Well, that is cruel. On that decision, Jason Bell getting it, beautifully worked. And that scoreline, a little shattering for the Newcastle Knights right now, 12 points to 0. Herron has had 2 kicks from this side of the ground for 2 successful attempts. It's a little wider still. 8 metres in from touch. Question mark that perhaps it's Albert's hand that knocked that out of Bell's grasp. We'll have a closer look shortly. Herron's kick. Will that swing around? Not this time. It's 12 points to 0 to the Eels now. Let's have a look again at Jason Bell. Does Albert get a hand in? Well, they've both competed. Bell's got there first for mine.
Yeah, he's touched it first, Bell. That's a knock-on.
Steve Roach on the sideline.
Yeah, well, it's all right to be aggressive in defence, but Newcastle are really trying to gang tackle Parramatta, and they're having a fair bit of luck on the fringe of the ruck. If they spread it away from the middle of that ruck, they're going to get numbers all night.
All day, all night. Aaron Pettit is on for the Eels in 18, and now Dean Pay. Big experience for Pettit, local junior, in this finals appearance. Back with Morgan. Getting a step as he got to the line. Butterfield was low in the tackle. Andrew Johns over the top. Simon kicking inside the 40. And O'Davis has got a bit of work to do here. The bounce stood up and comes back Parramatta's way. And a chance there for Herron. And he put the dustiest of attempts in trying to kick it past Robbie O'Davis.
Well, I'll tell you what, if Ian Herron was onside, and that seems to be the ruling, it was more than just a chance for them. He's way onside. He's 15 metres onside. They almost should have scored from this. If he'd have got any sort of kickback on the inside. Paul Carige was there, so too Carl Lovell. But I'll tell you what, Manchester United won't be in a hurry to sign him up.
So Newcastle on their own 30 with Mark Glanville. And now Parramatta caught offside.
Yeah, Jared McCracken a mile offside there. Really made no attempt to get back. Good work from the Newcastle runner to go towards him. Just have a look on the far side. McCracken, well, he's 3 or 4 metres offside and gets involved in the tackle.
Newcastle on the end of a start that they applied themselves to Balmain last week when Balmain were looking to stay in finals contention. In the space of 15 minutes, they'd conceded 3 tries, the Tigers. Eden is back-slammed in that tackle by Raper and Pay. This is a typically big match start from Dean Pay as Muir bumps away. It may have been Bell that he beat, and now picked up by Navali. Newcastle unable to come up with a loose ball. Matthew Gidley was going for it.
Still down on the ground. Jason Bell sick and sorry as Nathan Barnes finds some metres up the middle of the ruck. Well, getting to his feet now. Some momentum. Navali out of dummy half going centre field. Bell limping off.
That's another bad sign for the Eels with Smith already concussed as Dimmick is 35 metres out from the Newcastle line. They're able to slow up this play the ball. They were under, well, they're in a little bit of bother in the tackles leading up to that one. Morgan for the Newcastle 30-metre line. Russell Wire coming on for Parramatta. Now Raper, a dummy half. Last tackle, Simon. Here comes the high ball. It's wide out for McDougall. He's called for it and comes down with it. Adam McDougall for the Newcastle Knights. Away from Pay and then away from another. Contained just short of the 20-metre line. Pettit came over the top.
Hey, Newcastle got the football. I'm sure their coach Malcolm really would like to see them complete a full set of 6. They haven't done it so far in the match, or apart from one bad kick from Andrew Johns. I mean, you're throwing the ball anywhere. Adam Muir the last time they got it. Let's see if they can hang on to the football here.
Just outside their 30 with Clements. Back for Glanville. Made a life member last week of the Newcastle Knights. Andrew Johns. Maybe a chance here. O'Davis diving to pass, breaking quick hands. McDougall wide out. McCracken had come across in cover and makes the tackle. That is tackle 5. 45 out from the Parramatta line. Andrew Johns. He'll test out Paul Carige. The kick may be a little deep. Carige back on his own goal line. Falling to take it. A touch of Matt Sears about that one. And Carige is off now. Back over the 20-metre line. And big Paul Harrigan has cleaned up the Parramatta fullback. Now back with Pettit. Net front on by Glanville.
He's in rare form, isn't he? Paul Harrigan played some great football in recent weeks. Big tackle there. Aaron Raper tries to use a couple of Newcastle players as shepherds. Harrigan, especially in the offload department, really has blossomed.
Quite a difference between the two teams so far. The dummy half running, the success Raper is having. Raper's there again for Simon. Now Pay. He's got Dimmick on his outside. Spun in the tackle, able to offload from McCracken. Then quick hands for Carige. Now they're away with Lovell. He's got Herron on his outside, and Herron is on his way for try number 3. Parramatta. Some scintillating football from the Eels, and I dare say they are back.
Let's sit here and watch this all afternoon. Another well-constructed try. Dean Pay heavily involved. He frees it there. You can see Dean Pay on the ground has been able to offload. Paul Carrige has come around, this man here, to create the overlap. His play continues. All he did was draw McDougall onto Lovell. The important thing was for Herron to stay on side. He only just stayed on side. It looked as though it might have been touch and go. But after Dean Pay was able to attract a couple of defenders here, turned, got the pass away, and McCracken, he took Carige. Carrige took care of McDougall, and then it was simple work from there on.
Let's watch one of the great wingers in flight, Ian Herron. Look at him go. Get it down, Chook. But it's a well-constructed try from Parramatta. This is the type of play they've been trying the last few weeks at the Parramatta Stadium and the likes. Hasn't been coming off, but today everything's coming off for them.
Ian Herron just being back in the side, it does lift the confidence of this Parramatta team, especially coming from a match where they did score 3 tries to 1 and got beaten. So the fact that they know he's going to put over probably